Hi, this is Guillaume from ViewComfy, and today I'm going to show you how to build and edit a ViewComfy app. For those of you that don't know us, we provide people with the tools to turn any ComfyUI workflow into a simple app with a simple UI that they can easily share with other people, so only expose the parameters you want to show, and also simplify the UI so you're not scaring anyone away when you share them your workflows. So in this video, we'll go over how to build an app like the one it's on the screen right now. So yeah, let's jump right in. So here I've got a simple Flux workflow, and it's the one I'll be using to build the app. So just a quick trick before we export the workflow, you can rename those nodes, and that makes it easier when you're building the app later to just find which parameters what. This is especially good if you've got multiple nodes that have the same name in your workflow. So for example, multiple case samplers. Here I'm gonna just, for this example, I'm gonna call this one image size. So then once it's ready, you just need to export this workflow as a workflow API. So same thing you did when you deployed the workflow original in ViewComfy. So just take this file here. And then you have two options. You can either use our online editor or the open source editor. I'll link the open source in the description, and I'll show you how to use the online one. They both work very similar, by the way, so if you're using the open source, you can follow the rest of this tutorial, no problem. So if I go here and you go to ViewComfy App, you can see here I've got an app already deployed. If you need to deploy a new one, you can click here on the app editor. If it's the first one, you come to this page. The page will look like this, and you can access the app editor by clicking this button here. So now you can drop the workflow API that you've just exported. I'm just going to drop this one here and click save. So yeah, it's not going to let you do it the first time. So if you're doing this on your local, you won't get this error because you can use your local ComfyUI to run the workflows. But on the cloud, you need to link the app to a ViewComfy deployment. This is a topic I covered in another video. I'll link in the bio. So here I'm gonna link this app to this deployment here that I have of this demo deployment. I need to copy the API endpoint here and then put it here. So that's gonna link the app to this ComfyUI deployment. So if I go in the playground and I click generate, it's gonna be generating on that deployment. So let's go back to the editor. So yeah, now I have all the parameters that were in that workflow that are being rendered here. So the first kind of edit we can do is just keep the parameters we want to expose to the user. So I'll just do that now. I'll keep the prompt here, and I'll delete pretty much everything else. So the seed, I'll keep that, but I will make it random. Then this one, the image size, so see, that's the node I've renamed. It's called image size now. I will keep it. I don't want to expose the batch size, so I'm just keeping the width and the height. This is gone. The LoRa I want to keep, and I want to keep the LoRa strength. And that's it. So now I just saved, and if you go in the playground, now you see you have the prompt here at the top, and those other parameters that I've kept. So now let's just edit the kind of input types and make this look a bit nicer. So first of all, the prompt, I'm gonna rename this. So yeah, you have this button here that you can use to edit the inputs. So this one I'm gonna rename prompt. And I'll keep the same default prompt, but if you wanted to change the default prompt, you could just edit the text here. Okay, and then the seed, I'm gonna rename it seed. Save. The image size, I'll keep it as it is. And then the LoRa, I wanna make a few edits here. So the first of all, I want this LoRa strength parameter to be a slider. So if I go in the editor here, I'll also rename it LoRa strength. So it's clear to the users what it is. And I'm going to change the type from number to slider, with the maximum value being 1 and a step of 0.1. And the default I'll leave at 1. So now this is a slider, and with a default value of 1. Then I want my users to be able to change the LoRa name without having to type the name. So to do that, you need to change this from text to select, and that's going to allow you to create a drop down. So the label is what's going to be displayed on the UI, and the value is what's going to be sent to ComfyUI. So the value is the name of the LoRa, that's good. And then what's being displayed on the UI, I want it to be Flux Realism. And then to add a second value in the dropdown, you just need to add a new row with your new value. So I have the name of my LoRa saved here. I'm just gonna paste it. And this one is gonna be called Flux Detail. And then you can save those changes, and now you have a drop down. So now let's go check on the playground. So I've got my prompt, the seed, the width and the height, and then the drop down for the LoRa name and the slider for the strength. So let's just organize those parameters, and actually I'll change the default value for the size as well. So let's start by changing the default value to 1024. And finally, you can move the inputs around by clicking this little arrow here. So the image size and the seed, I'll keep it where they are, and the LoRa, I'll bump it up to this basic input section. And now if we look here, we've got a prompt, LoRa name as a drop down, LoRa strength as a slider, and then these ones are down here. Perfect. And then finally, you can rename this app anything you want. So I'm just going to call it demo app. And you can also add a different logo here. So if you want to brand this UI to your own company branding, you can do so. Now I've got this logo that I've saved already, and just paste it. And then I'll just remove this ViewComfy here. You could put your company name, for example. And now we've got this demo app with the prompt and all the parameters the way we've set. If you wanted to add some preview image, you can do so here by just putting the links to those images, like I did for the logo. And if you want to add another workflow, you can do so by just clicking add workflow here, and then dropping the other workflow, and just follow the same steps again. So I'm not going to go through everything, but just to show you the example. And then this one's going to be called, let's say, workflow 2, save. Then when you go in playground, so you have workflow 2 and the demo app, they're both there. So perfect. So now I've done all the edits to my app. I think it's ready to go. I want to share it with my users. There's one last step you need to do. You need to download this as a ViewComfy JSON. Then you go back to your dashboard and you just kind of drop that back in here. So this is the ViewComfy JSON we just created. It's just all the kind of data for our system to be able to render the UI. And then let's call it the demo app. Deploy. And then you have your app here. To invite new users, you can just click this button and put their email address. They'll get an invite by email, and then you can start using the app right away on your end. Just click this button. And your users only have access to the parameters you decided to expose to them. So this is the app we just built. And let's say you want to change the prompt. And you can click generate, and that's going to send the request to your deployment. And the image will be shown here as soon as it's done generating. So there you go, you've got your results here. You can also see it in the history with previous results. And yeah, that's it. So hope you find this useful. And if you have any questions or would like to talk to us, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.